I hate to say it.
Breaking news.
I need to tell you, you need to all be warned.
Warning the people. This is warn the people. No. Breaking news.
right.
Michael's in.
All right. Call the generals. Have them listen to me right here, especially the ground forces, because Army might get blown up after this game.
Good evening, Degenerates, and welcome back to another episode of Degen Hours College
Degen
Football Week 13.
30.
Big week. We're coming towards the end of the regular season. We're edging conference championship
Trece.
weeks. What are you saying?
I mean,
Trece.
he's screaming out.
What's going on?
He's
Trece.
like, he's Miguel. He's like,
Sí.
no,
Miguel.
not even close to
Orale.
that.
Mongolian Miguel. Mongolian we like to call him.
Eminem.
Eminem.
Nope.
Progressive
Not
Mike.
me.
Yeah, week 13's here. We're getting close to the conference championships, and our records are starting to get real beefy, and everyone's right around that 50% number except for Mike. Ryan, brutal week last week.
I mean, the worst week I've ever seen.
10 games under 500.
I'm normally sharp in college football. That doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I'll flip it for you.
That's
don't worry.
tough.
Jesus.
I was just above 500. Mike and Mario each a game below 500. So
Ooh, that's
on the
good, Mike.
season, like I said, 49%, 50%, and 44%.
Whoa, wait.
Brutal for Mike.
Mike's coming back a little bit.
No, that's in NFL. He's way worse than that. He's always been low 40s.
All right, get to
And
50.
NFL is low 30s. It's honestly one of the most impressive clips we've seen this year from Mongolian Mike. Or Miguel.
Yeah,
as we like to
Mongolian
call him.
Prime time, Mike.
Mortal Lock Parlay, where we pay you $1,000 every week if this hits, did terrible.
Oh, yeah,
I was
God.
relegated, but I hit my mortal, Arizona State, so I'm not relegated
Shout out
anymore.
Arizona State.
Ryan and Mike lost their
All right.
mortals. Mike's now lost 2 in a row. If he loses a third, he's
want
out of
to
the
argue
parlay.
Oh.
Brutal.
Get back.
Mario did hit his mortal lock.
You
so
don't
it's
bet
only-
against the Claremont Court.
Yeah. But let's get right into the
Lesson
action.
learned.
A lot of big games this week, and we got a lot of picks for you, so we'll tell you everything we
A
got.
lot of picks.
Game 1, Indiana at Ohio State. The precursor. Go ahead, Mike.
Nope.
The precursor for the Big Ten championship. The winner of this will go and play Oregon. Ohio State 12.5 point home favorites, total 52.5. Ryan, when you look at this game, you know everything about Ryan Day and top 5 opponents.
Oh, yeah.
Whether or
That's
not
my guy.
Indiana's really a top 5 opponent or not,
Doesn't
but
matter. It's
they,
about the number.
They are on the books. Yeah. So how do you feel about this one?
I love this game. Multiple reasons. One, just like the Penn State game, we're kind of getting lucky with these injuries. Indiana's beat the shit. Absolutely destroyed. Kirschberg just came back, and I mean, he looked terrible last week. I don't know if you guys watched that Michigan game. They should have lost that game outright. They were at home. Should have lost. They lost 2 defensive linemen. They lost an offensive lineman. They look absolutely shredded. Ohio State's coming in prime, fully loaded. Everyone's getting hot. I think this is going to be an easy cover. I don't see this game being very close. Only thing I see is the classic Ryan Day doesn't want to show everything and they don't win by 40. They're up by 20 and then just inside handoff for the next 2 quarters. You know what I mean? But it should be a murder. I think we do cover. I actually do like the under a lot because I don't think Indiana's going to score that much. They're beat up. When I say beat up, beat up. Ohio State under, Big Ten lock, Ohio State playoffs, Ohio State everything. Bang, bang, bang.
All right. I've been saving this take for a while now. So I'm just going to come out and say it. Ohio State wins this game by 44 points.
Whoa.
44
Gonna get a great number on that.
points. Indiana has played literally no one. Not one ranked opponent. Not even someone close to being ranked. Like, if you put South Carolina with the schedule Indiana's played, they are 11-0. If you put, like, I'm not gonna say Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt's not good. But if you put a lot of these teams at the bottom of the top 25 in this Indiana schedule, I guess they just become a top 5 team in the playoff rankings. Ohio State beats them so bad. Indiana actually misses the playoffs because of this game.
I see that.
And so this is my take.
Very
They're going to end the season with 1 loss, and they're going to miss the playoff. They'll be the only 1-loss team in a Power 4 conference not to make the playoffs because of how badly they're going to be beaten by the only ranked team they'll play all season long. So I love Ohio State here. Every day of the week, twice on Saturday. I think, I think this isn't really even a big matchup for them. I think they just absolutely crush them on both offense and defense. So yeah, I'm obsessed with this number. I think this number should be closer to 17, 18, 19 points. There's nothing about this Indiana team I'm excited about. I actually think there's probably 25 teams in the country that could be undefeated with this schedule. So, they'll have to prove it to me, but I really think this was close to my mortal lock.
Yeah, so Indiana has been a team that I've been riding with all year. Hoosiers. I made the terrible mistake of betting against them when they played Washington, and ever since then, I have learned my lesson. They dealt me, I believe, my first loss of the Mortal Lock season, and so it's only fitting that, I kind of joined their team after that, or joined their bandwagon after that. And here's the thing, and I'm not even going to get too statistical, but it's Ryan Day, and I think Ryan Day this season has had a tendency to start really, really slow
This
for
season?
absolutely no.
Every game for his entire career. But
I mean, maybe
you're 100% right. I was
maybe
just
in past
extending
as
your
well.
statement, but you're 100% right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that reinforced me. I guess exactly what Ryan
Reinforcement.
I'm in
said. Reinforcement.
Yeah. I had to bring him in.
But
He's got your back.
yes, Ryan Day does tend to start really slow, and I think Indiana, on the exact flip of that, starts really, really hot, and then tends to ease off, especially the defensive breaks in the second half, and that's where you usually see teams closing that gap, and then the games get to be a little bit closer because of that. But again, Indiana starts off really, really hot, and I think this is, by and large, I mean, everybody would agree this is their biggest game of the year. They're going to get up for this game. I think Kurt Cignetti, or however you pronounce his last name, is really going to get his boys riled up and ready for this game. I think Ohio State for sure wins this game. I don't think it's even a question, but I think Indiana can keep it close, and I think the spread is just a little bit too large for my liking. If this were 10.5 even, I would love it. Be all over Ohio State. For some reason, the extra 2.5 points is calling out to me. I think it's a little large. Obviously, it means nothing. We're filming this on Monday night. Early money is on my side as well. I think it's 70% of the bets and 75% of the money is going with Indiana here. I like the Hoosiers here, so Hoosiers
It
plus
is a
12
big
and a half.
number. It is a big number.
It's really, really large.
Yeah, it is a very big number. And I know Curtis Rourke came back last week and he didn't look great. But I don't know. I think give him an extra week.
Oh, he's still unbelievable. They were a top 10 offense before.
Yeah. And give him another week. I think their team's going to be, a lot more focused for this game. Last week against, Michigan, they probably were just kind of, it's a little bit of a look ahead
Cruise
spot.
control.
They know they can win the game. It's like, let's not do anything stupid. Let's just go out there and just win this game. We have a big game against Ohio State the next week. This is a big number. If it was 9.5, I would love Ohio State.
Yep.
12.5, it's like, are they going to win by 2 touchdowns? Like, Ohio State doesn't need to, and I think this matters a lot more for Indiana. I think Ohio State wins this game all the time. It's really close. I actually saw Indiana first half plus 7.5. I actually kind of like that line just because.
Sharp. Or first quarter, whatever the
First quarter, because Ohio State loves to just 3.5 first quarter,
Oh
too.
my God, I would
everything.
love that.
First quarter plus 3.5, first half plus 7.5, and then after that, do what you want, live bet.
That's true because Indiana's kind of playing for their playoff berth. Ohio State's just playing
I might
to stay alive.
They're playing for their life.
I might actually bet every single Ohio State quarter and full game.
Wow.
If it's 3.5 first quarter, is going to be the easiest bet of my entire life.
You know, last week you told me.
I don't.
Last
care.
week, Tyler
They didn't
goes,
score in the
Ryan,
first
remind
quarter.
me every week to bet the
No.
other team playing Ohio State's first quarter
This
spread.
is, Ohio State. You're saying Ohio State doesn't really need this game as much as Indiana. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. They need to make their conference championship.
They're propped up high enough to where it wouldn't really matter.
They need to make their conference championship. Ryan Day needs to make the conference championship. If you want to win a natty, you're gonna want to bye and not have to play a playoff game back-to-back weeks to even get in the
Ideally,
semifinal.
but that's not the only way. You can definitely start playing the first week of playoffs and win the natty.
I'm telling you right now, this team, you need a bye in the playoffs. I would be shocked if you see a team win that didn't have the bye. Playing
Wow, really?
four
That's
playoff
interesting.
playoff
that's
games
very
in a
interesting
row
take.
is a lot different than 3.
Yeah.
It's
You know-
a lot different than 3, especially when it's going to be one
No,
of
that
these.
is-
But two of
That
those are going to
actually
be
a good point.
SMU and Colorado. So, I think that's kind of a hot take.
Can I quickly make
That's why,
another devil's
we see it.
advocate argument against that? Is most teams do take advantage of the extra rest week, but sometimes it ends up being a rock in the road, right? Like it's not always easy to get back into form
To stop
versus
and then start again.
exactly
What do you
versus a
mean?
team who can keep the momentum going in a big game in the first week of or first round playoffs.
Wait, we've never seen
go
this before.
into
Yeah.
100%. But yeah. No, I
I'm
agree.
saying, like,
but just in
Teams
general,
have all. But I mean, in college football, there's a month between conference championships and playoffs. There's never been, a playoff series where there's a bye even in question.
I see what you're saying.
Like this has
I
just
see what
never
you're saying.
happened before.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying, I think Ohio State's going to get out for it. But, we're split
so.
on this.
That'd be great.
50-50.
What do you mean?
I like it.
He's on Ohio State.
Oh, I thought you were on Indiana.
No, I said it's gonna be tough. I didn't give out a pick though.
Yeah, I thought you never get a pick.
Yeah, I didn't even give out a pick.
Oh.
What's
Oh,
the
I thought
pick?
you were saying it was 9.
It sounded like you were
lo-
saying Indiana.
Yeah, I thought you
'Cause
said
you
you
were
were
like,
all
if it
over
was
with
9-9,
9.
yeah,
And then
No, but I can't talk about this game.
Oh,
You see what I did there?
This guy.
Wow,
You see what I did
that's
there?
a moral
I mean,
flip.
this guy.
Oh,
just
yeah.
drag you along on
Drag-
that.
tease you all
Next
day.
game-
yanking you around.
Next game, equally as big of a game in the Big 12 as this is for the Big 10.
Yeah.
Basically a playing game for the conference championship. BYU at Arizona State. Arizona State 3.5-point home favorites. Total is 48.5. Michael, how do you feel about this line?
Oh wow, those Mormons, man. I mean,
Don't
those.
get me started.
No, Ryan can go on a whole road about Mormons, but look,
he?
the thing is that last week, and we talked about in one of the recap episodes, BYU was caught in a spot. They had just come off a big win the week previous, before Kansas, and they were clearly upset by Kansas. I think they just caught a lapse of mental preparation, and I don't think they're gonna make that mistake again. ASU they're making a push because of teams that are better hitting bumps in the road. I don't think that downgrades the teams that were already going forward, like BYU. I hate to say it, but like Colorado. I think if ASU is going to win this game, it's going to be because they're obviously a very, very run-heavy team. And BYU, if there is a weakness in their defense, it's going to be the run. I don't think it's that big of a gap in their weakness, though. And so I'm still going to take BYU plus 3.5. I think it's too many points to be giving a road dog that is the conference leader and is, I think, going to be the conference champion. Also take the under 48.5 because Arizona running the ball is going to kill clock. Just, you kill a lot of game clock, there's not going to be
Yeah, I
points
like
to
that.
score. So
Mario?
Yeah, I don't know. Ryan actually earlier in the week touched on this, lightly caressed it, if you will,
Whoa.
about Arizona
Slightly
State.
caressed it.
Slightly caressed it. About
Hey, I watch. Oh, whoa.
yeah, okay. I gave him.
You
I got him
reach
too
away.
excited.
correct.
Reach around, Mike.
You see him
reach around.
leaning forward a little. Don't have him stand up now. Don't have him stand
Hands up,
up.
don't
Hey.
shoot. Yeah.
You
Tuck
wouldn't-
roll,
You
tuck
wouldn't,
roll,
you
Mike.
wouldn't see
Tuck
anything.
roll.
Hey,
No,
man.
you ain't got that
Tuck
kind of
roll's
line.
crazy.
Hey, man.
But no, Ryan
Gotta sag
mentioned
the shorts for that.
Ryan
What?
mentioned earlier in the week about Arizona State's identity when they play football. And their identity, their play style, I really like the way they've been playing, especially the past few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
BYU, I talked about earlier, they just seemed like a team that was just trying to hold on. And the fact that they kind of lost, I feel like you can kind of see it in the team now. Like they feel like almost, I don't want to say,
Relieved.
no, not relieved at all. Like disappointed, but also like they kind of don't, they know they don't have much to play for now.
Yeah.
It's Colorado kind of controls their own fate. And this is a game where I don't know. I just don't see it even being close, actually. I know this is a close spread. I actually think Arizona State goes out and wins by like 10 to 14 points.
I agree completely. Yeah. So Arizona State's just better than BYU. They are. BYU just lost to Kansas. They before that had a 1-point game against Utah, a team without their starting quarterback.
Yep.
A 3-point game against Oklahoma State, and then a 6-point game against Baylor. All those teams unranked. So they aren't the title favorites in the Big 12 for a reason. People were very, very hesitant about this BYU team all year. And then finally, after they won, 9 games, 8 games, the rankings were like, fine, we'll put them up there.
Yeah.
We saw what happens against a 3-win Kansas, now a 4-win Kansas. I love Arizona State at home. I mean, the youngest coach in college football, they all of a sudden are thrust into a position they never thought they would be.
Yeah.
Right? Because you had BYU and Iowa State. I don't know why I was blanking. BYU and Iowa State undefeated all season, and Kansas State, the preseason favorites, and Colorado, who was up there. Arizona State just was winning games silently. And they were getting juiced up. Their coach was getting hyped. They were storming the field on some big wins. And then all of a sudden, they're in a spot where they control their own destiny.
Yeah.
They win their next 3 games. They're in the college football playoffs with a bye.
That's
So, yeah,
crazy.
I think they are ready to play. BYU is, they were kind of having to defend themselves all year. I like the way you put that. Arizona State's been chasing. Hungry Dog runs faster. Arizona State, big win.
Yeah, this is really weird. BYU looked unbelievably electric before that Utah game. Even the Oklahoma State game, where they only won by 3, still put up 38. They were averaging like 38 to 40 points every. Like, they were scoring at will. And then I have no idea what happened. Something happened in locker room, offensive coordinator,
It's
play
fizzled
calls.
out.
Something because this doesn't these teams. None of these teams are anything special. Like, you should be able to, if you're doing it for 7 games, you should be able to do it for, maybe you have one bad game.
It's hard.
Should
It's
be
a
able
long
to,
season.
Should be able to continue, and I just don't think it will continue. Arizona State is on fire right now. They control, like Mike said, time of possession is going to be huge in this game. I think they're going to control a lot of it. I love the under, and I just think Arizona State actually, the entire way, wire to wire, wins this game. Goes up early, plays some good defense, and just holds the game. So,
But Mike, the
love
lone
Arizona State.
wolf
All right.
on
Love
the
the
side
lone
of the
wolf.
Mormons.
Yep,
You're
I'll
always an
say 'em.
advocate for Joseph Smith Jr.
I mean, I'm a man for highly touted religious figures.
Gandhi.
Yeah.
P. Diddy.
Buddha.
Nope.
Whoa. That's Michael's religion. That's a little
Nope.
different.
Gotcha.
Nope.
Where's that baby oil at? Never mind. Last
Nope.
game, Army at Notre Dame.
Oh, what a game.
You'd think it's not a
Tyler's
big game.
game of the year.
You'd think it's not a big game, but this is a massive game. Notre Dame's currently slated to make the playoffs. Army, undefeated, the lowest ranked undefeated team.
Yep.
If they win this game, top 10 game,
little
there are going to be a
switcheroo.
lot of conversations happening about this Army team actually getting a shot at the college football playoffs.
I read some crazy articles about this game.
Yeah, well,
Mike and his
Mike
like
always
always.
reads.
I'm gonna start and then I'll go to you after.
Oh no! Please,
Notre
don't.
Dame.
Everyone else
14
besides me,
Okay, that's fine.
and then I'll end it because it's crazy. The articles
Oh,
I
yeah,
got,
okay,
they're
Mike.
crazy.
All right, well, Mike's the finisher.
Yeah,
Mike loves the finish.
yeah, the Punisher.
You're the.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Are you the Punisher?
Yeah,
Whoa.
That's a good show.
yeah. It's
You
great.
kind of look like
Smile
a
on his
restraining
face.
order.
Mike's too excited about this.
Yeah, that's
Every-
why you can't go anywhere near school zone.
I
Notre
mean-
Dame, 14.5 point home favorites, total 44.5. All I have to say is this. Sometimes in life, you just have to believe in something.
Yep.
You just have to believe. I thought it was Navy. I had Navy. I love Navy. It was my mortal lock against Notre Dame, and they got absolutely destroyed. Notre Dame has been pummeling teams if you haven't been paying
Oh,
attention.
murder.
I mean, every game for Notre Dame has just been an absolute slaughter. Not this week. There's something special about this Army team. All of America is going to be behind them to hope, Notre Dame and Riley Leonard and all these clowns don't have to make the playoffs. You don't have to watch them self-destruct. Who doesn't want to see Army and Boise State in the playoffs? You know you want that. Everyone,
That's college football.
everyone
It's
wants that,
Destiny.
and we got to make it happen. Army plus 14.5, and on the money line, believe in something.
Wow.
Bang.
That's sharp. This is gonna be my most gut wrenching, throw up, disgusting thing I've ever had in my life. But this Notre Dame team has found a way.
Don't do this.
Oh,
found-
here he
Not
goes.
this late in the season.
No, this is.
But I'm
this
sure
is
it's
what
a
he
classic
does. This is
ride.
what he does.
No.
This is-
I'm
these
always,
people-
I'm always, you can have this in writing against Notre Dame. Always. I
Write
think
it down.
they're most overrated every year. But I always say the thing, just like Colorado and these teams that don't play good teams or haven't had a program game where they've had to play good teams, like this Army team, gets smacked. Like Navy at home. Fucking smacked.
Well, Navy's falling off the wagon.
But there wasn't any difference at the moment. Like, these two teams were the hottest teams, and
Lost
they were
to
covering
Rice.
all these spreads.
Lost to Rice.
So I'm saying, I don't know. I Notre Dame, their identity without letting Riley Leonard, he just doesn't throw the ball anymore. He runs the ball for 1,000,000 yards. Love runs the ball for 1,000,000,000,000 yards. And this team just scores at will. Their offensive line's
50
great.
points a
Their
game.
defense their defense is really good. I think they're going to cover this easily. I think this is just the classic. We go, oh wow, these like tiers are actually a real thing, and that's why these teams aren't let in these conferences or allowed to play against these teams. This will be one of them.
Point.
I
Notre
think-
Dame's not in any conference.
Exactly. That's why they
True.
played a real
Independent.
team. It's like real teams going up. Like Army has played Notre Dame, but if Notre Dame played like Georgia, you know what I mean? It's just a ladder of bullshit. I like Notre Dame. Gonna be a murder and lots of points. Got to hit the over in this game. Come on, over
right.
Notre Dame.
Mario.
Points.
I gotta say, Ryan, I'm disappointed.
Wow.
I am
I'm
as
just
well.
sharp.
disappointed.
I'm
I am
sharp.
as, no, I am as well.
I'm not.
You know
I'm
what
not
I mean?
mad. I'm just disappointed.
No
I don't
conviction.
hate goggles. I know.
No
I know.
conviction.
No conviction.
No conviction.
Well, I have conviction.
Sometimes
No
you,
conviction.
sometimes a good, you can save yourself. You can jump off the ship, but a good captain goes down with the ship.
Amen.
That's what they say.
Yep.
This is a game where Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I'm never
Oh.
betting on Notre Dame.
Nope.
Oh.
Army can lose by 14, and still cover. They can lose by 10, still cover.
They lose by 13.
Lose by 13,
Still cover.
lose by 9.
Still cover.
Still cover.
They can outright win.
Still
Still
cover.
cover.
You got to believe in something.
A lot of outcomes.
You got to
Gotta
listen,
believe in something.
this
Believe
is-
in something. Game
This
of the year.
isn't. This isn't even football at this point.
No.
This is just.
It's more than that.
It's
That's
two. It's
you're so
11v11. Listen, my
Spot
guys
the,
versus your
spot
guys.
the ball.
Yep.
Spot the ball, and we're just gonna hit each other, and
Yeah.
we'll see how that plays out. So, Army.
Army.
Yep. All right, you're gonna want to stick with me on this one. So
The weave.
yeah, no, watch this.
Stay with
Watch
me.
this.
Stay with me now.
So I was doing some research for this game, and I was, digging
up with
into
that.
digging
Round of
into
applause.
some articles, and it led me to some other articles, and I ended up
You
on some
clicked the link, didn't you?
and I ended
The
up
girl
on
is
some.
5 miles away.
Yeah,
I
she's
ended
fine.
on a
Yeah,
couple
boy.
conspiracy
She wants to chat.
websites.
I told you those chats aren't real.
And
you
here's
know?
what I need to tell you
Remember when you thought
is
Trump
that
was
this
sending
Notre
Bitcoin?
Dame Navy game exposed everything.
Everything.
This Notre Dame team isn't actually college players. This is the reunion and the refortification of the IRA trying to overtake the American army. And hear me out. So, all right. So, a few weeks ago, Notre Dame came in the Fighting Irish. Right? It's all in the
whoa.
It's all in the name. The Fighting Irish.
They
right?
came
So-
in the Fighting Irish.
They
yeah,
came
so-
in fighting Irish.
Similar to what the IRA did is that they were
Stay with me now.
what's going on?
No, come on, keep going.
Is they were always sneaking about until
sneaking.
one of their missions ended in some type of explosive behavior.
Ooh, explosive.
And
My glove's
you know,
explosive
they're
behavior.
quote unquote terroristic attacks. But
terrorism.
Of course, Mike's looking into terrorism. I mean,
I mean, you know, it's
a North
research,
Korean.
pure research.
Actually, not true.
Anyways, this is gonna
Mongolian
be,
beef.
unfortunately, a Trojan horse style attack against the American army.
Ooh.
I hate to say it.
Breaking
but
news.
I need to tell you, you need to all be warned.
Warn the people. This is warn the people. No. Breaking news.
right.
Michael's in.
All right. Call the generals, have them listen to me right here, especially the ground forces, because Army might get blown up after this game.
Wow.
Uh,
You cannot be saying
Notre
that right
Dame
now.
Can't say that.
by 77,000.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I love the take.
Did you just officially put a hit out on the United States military?
No.
Like I
No,
think
it's a
that's what you
warning.
did.
He's been
It's a
hinting
warning.
at
Him
this
and
for
Kim
quite
Jong
some
Kim
time.
Jong
Oh, it's
Un
a
hit me a
warning.
little too
No,
close.
I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of maps in Mike's room, like
Yeah.
some weird drawings and symbols.
The
like,
train stations are all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't
Like,
know.
No, I know. Mike.
The flight patterns on your room is
No,
crazy.
like Mike doesn't leave the room for like 3 days. All of a sudden, trains are derailing in
Well, he was
Ohio.
talking.
Like,
he
this
was
is-
talking about his articles, and he clicked the link, and
Yeah.
that's why he doesn't leave the room.
Yeah.
He gets carried away in those. You know,
Where are those coordinates?
she's 3 miles away. Yeah. Speaking of coordinates. All right. Well, there you have it. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy. Crazy game. I think Mike just called for the death of the U.S.
Nope.
military.
Nope. I love the United States military. Shout out Armed Forces.
That's a
Because
that's a false
they
flag.
made your dream
Yeah.
become true. When you're not from the country, you come into America. Dreams come true in America.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mike's surprised about that.
Wow.
Are you calling me an immigrant?
You came here from not
legally?
Oh yeah, you're right. Legally, we just want to make that clear. Legally,
Oh yeah.
He
I was
don't
born
deport him. Do not deport
You were
Mike.
born here.
I was born here.
Mongolia
In
is not in the
Seoul, right?
U.S. You know that, right?
I was born here.
Soul.
In the dark. Molded by.
No, there you have it. We have a lot of picks.
Oh yeah, we got a lot,
lot
of
of
picks.
picks.
A million
Let's
Million
get
trillion.
it. Let's just
Medium amount.
medium
for you.
amount.
Yeah,
Medium.
I got a billion picks.
All right, let's get into it.
Trillion.
All right, I have a million.
All right.
All right, starting off.
I love that.
I have a million picks to get through. Colorado, shout out Shador.
Oh God.
Minus 2.5
off off a
against-
cliff.
What?
Scope off a cliff.
Okay.
Sorry.
Colorado minus 2.5 against Kansas. Colorado, Kansas over 59.5. Syracuse, shout out Cal McLaren McCord.
Clarence.
Minus 10.5 against UConn.
Ugh.
Ohio State, Indiana under 52.5. Shout out Ryan.
Bang.
Ole Miss, shout out Jackson Dart. Minus 10.5 against Florida. Ole Miss, Florida over 55.5. Georgia minus 42.5 against UMass.
Woo! What a
Georgia
number.
team total over 49.5. UMass team total under 6.5.
That's sharp.
Sharp. Tennessee minus 41.5 against UTEP. Tennessee team total over 47.5.
Those are massive numbers.
Oh, I'm laying numbers this week. Florida State minus 33.5 against Charleston Southern. Arizona State minus 3.5 against BYU. Bowling Green minus 11.5 against Ball State. James Madison App State over 60.5. Clemson minus 50.5 against the Citadel. Shout out Tyler.
Go Tigers.
Kentucky plus 20.5 against Texas. Horns down. Cal Stanford over 55.5. Texas A&M minus 2.5 against Auburn. Army, gotta believe in something. Plus 14.5 against Notre Dame. Boise State, shout out Ashton Genty, Heisman, minus 22.5 against Wyoming. Boise, Wyoming over 57.5. Bama minus 13.5 against Oklahoma. Washington State minus 13.5 against Oregon State. Washington State, Oregon State over 56.5.
Bang! What a card. Holy
Bang.
meat on that bone. You know what I'm
Like
saying, Mike?
Yep. All right. Dig deep dive.
What? I said me on that bone. He yelled.
Whoa.
You said yep and went deep diving.
Deep is crazy.
Deep diving. That's Mike.
Deep diving on into your card. The way we start every week.
Why are you readjusted now?
Yeah.
The way we start every week is Texas, hook 'em horns, minus 20.5 versus Kentucky, because down with Kentucky. Moving on into the games we talked about. Shout out Joseph Smith Jr., BYU plus 3.5 at ASU. BYU, ASU under 48.5. Now, once again, I reiterate my warning to the U.S. Generals here. Notre Dame minus 14.5 at versus Army.
That's sharp.
I mean, this needs to be taken seriously. Moving into your
Cornell,
games.
Justice Department.
Yeah, Justice Department indeed. Call the Pentagon.
We're gonna need the
You
Justice
made the
Department
call.
for
Call
this.
the Pentagon.
You made the call.
Moving into the games that we have not yet talked about. No one has heard them yet. UNLV minus 7.5 at San Jose State University. You know, they're gonna go in, be like, hey, we're Nevada, we're gonna win.
Yeah.
Sharp.
And then SMU, not the team total over, but SMU minus 9.5 at Virginia.
I'll take it.
Do that one. Ole Miss, shout out Ole Miss, minus 10.5 at Florida, because it's not Gator Town over here. Penn State minus 12.5.
It's at Florida.
Yep, but it's not
Not
Gator
over
Town.
here. We're in
me.
a different state, Mike.
Excuse me.
Silencer over here.
Like I said, I'm going to shut that down.
Mike's gonna press the button. You know what I'm
It's sketch right now.
saying? Right there.
Penn State minus 12.5 at Minnesota.
Down with Minnesota.
Yeah, the Golden Gophers, they're dead.
No gold.
Extinction.
Yep, they're all dead. Washington State, Wazoo, shout out Wazoo, minus 13.5 at Oregon State. And Wazoo, Oregon State, over 56.5, because you have to do it every week. You just have to. Texas A&M, minus 2.5 at Auburn. You know, down
Go
with
Tigers
Auburn.
off a cliff. Yeah.
No, down with Auburn. Vanderbilt, plus 7.5 at LSU. I'm sorry, Mario, but...
What do you mean?
know.
We're doing it every week.
I have Kentucky. He has Vanderbilt every week.
No,
Every
yeah,
week.
I mean, the guy's a real asshole, and Diego Pavia for president, and Brian Kelly sucks.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, speaking of Brian Kelly, I don't know if I've mentioned that he's racist.
You haven't yet. Not in this
Investigation
Xenophobic,
incoming.
misogynistic.
Investigation
down with
incoming.
Brian Kelly.
and
why
lastly
his
but
wife's
not leastly, shout out to our intern Johnson, UCLA. Let me get an 8 clap, plus 4.5 versus USC, because the Trojans
Even
and
tried to
Lincoln
slide
Riley
LSU in there.
and
Down with
Miller Moss, they all suck.
Miller Moss.
They all suck.
Miller Moss will not be playing that game. but-
They all, well, because he sucks.
Yeah, that's
Everyone
why.
sucks.
That's why.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's it.
What a card.
That's it. Yep.
That was
Good
real
card.
qu- That was
Yep.
quick.
Nope, I'm done.
Yeah, here's a card. Games we already talked about. Ohio State minus 12.5. Blowout of the year. Indiana out of the playoffs. Arizona State start to finish route of BYU minus 3.5. Army believe in something. Game of the millennium plus 14.5. Wake Forest plus 23.5 at Miami.
Ooh.
You also got to believe in something. I need them to beat them. So come on, Wake Forest. Florida plus 10.5 at home against Ole Miss. This is a real tight game. DJ Lagway is looking good. Florida proved they can hang in it when he's playing well. So I love this game at home. Virginia plus 9.5 at home against SMU. Again, Clemson needs this. Believe in something. I'm betting against Miami and SMU the rest of the season as long as I can. Need one of these to hit. Come on, baby. Kentucky
on.
plus 20.5 at Texas. This could be an outright win spot. Both these teams not very good overall. But when you look at the home field advantage, it's really just not there for Texas. I mean, their only decent game in the SEC they played at home obviously got blown out. So this is a good spot for Kentucky. Definitely stay within this number. Penn State minus 12.5 at Minnesota. One of the easiest lines of the week. Blowout. Minnesota is not good at all. Neither is Penn State, but, this is just one of those games where it's a little different tier of team. I didn't want to touch you. I saw you were doing when the cameras went off. Pitt plus 7.5 at Louisville. Outright win spot. Louisville, not that great. Just dropped a big one. So, I really like Pitt in this spot. Bama minus 13.5 at Oklahoma. And Kansas State minus 8.5 at home against Cincy.
Wow, what a card. All right, I screwed you last week. Not going to screw you this week. I'm
Not
going to pick
doing
the
it again.
greatest card of all time. 1 billion picks. You're welcome.
Trillion.
Trillion, yeah.
Trillion,
UTSA
zillion.
minus 15.5 versus Temple. UTSA Temple over 55.5. UNLV San Jose State over 62.5. San Jose State team total over 27.5. Miami Wake Forest over 64.5. Because Miami team total over 44.5. Ohio State Indiana under 52.5. Syracuse minus 10.5 versus UConn. Syracuse team total over 33.5. Shout out Kyle McLaren McCord. Ole Miss Florida under 55.5. Georgia UMass over 55.5. Tennessee UTEP over 53.5. TCU minus 12.5 versus Arizona because TCU team total over 35.5. UL Monroe, Arkansas State under 52.5. Colorado should minus 2.5 versus Kansas. Arizona State minus 3.5 versus BYU. Michigan minus 11.5 versus Northwestern. Cal Stanford over 55.5. North Texas minus 2.5 versus Eastern Carolina. North Texas Eastern Carolina over 73.5. North Texas team total over 37.5. Nebraska minus 2.5 versus Wisconsin. Clemson minus 15.5 versus the Citadel. Utah State, San Diego State over 62.5. San Diego State team total over 28.5. Penn State minus 12.5 versus Minnesota. Shout out Sandusky. Oklahoma State, Texas Tech over 67.5.
Wow,
Louisville minus 7.5 versus Pitt. Texas State minus 20.5 versus Georgia State. Texas State team total over a billion, trillion, million, trillion, 38.5. Louisiana minus 11.5 versus Troy. Washington State, Oregon State over 56.5. Boise State, Wyoming over 57.5. Notre Dame Army over 44.5. Alabama minus 13.5 versus Oklahoma. Baylor minus 7.5 versus Houston. Utah plus 7.5 versus Iowa State. Texas A&M versus minus 2.5 versus Auburn. Marshall, Old Dominion under 52.5. Kansas State minus 8.5 versus Cincinnati. USC minus 4.5 for UCLA. SMU minus 9.5. SMU Virginia over 58.5. And now I end every card. SMU team total over 34.5. Bang!
There you have it.
Woo!
Big
Eat
card.
it!
What do you want them to do?
Woo!
Eat it.
What do you want the people to do?
Like, eat it. Like Weird Al Yankovic. Like,
Deep cut.
You should say Yank.
Weird Al Yankovic.
A Yankovic.
Yeah.
My hearing's a little.
Or the parody joke, the parody song.
Yeah, I
like,
got
eat
you, I
it.
got you.
Like,
Can you sing it for
like,
us?
eat it.
No one likes to eat it like Michael.
Nope.
Breaking news: I have intern Johnson crappy pick of the week.
Oh, the classic fade if you want it. Free money.
4-7 this far on the year.
Sound the arms.
You're shooting at
Ring
68%
the
right now.
The pick is drum roll, please.
Yep,
Middle Tennessee minus 3.5 against New Mexico State.
that's a shit
Oh,
pick.
what a shitty pick.
Yep, that's a
Crap
shit
pick of the
pick.
Well, we're at that point in the show
It's
where
time.
we pay you money. This is why you watch the videos.
Yep.
If all 4 of these picks hit, we pay you $1,000.
Yep, easy.
All you have to do, like, comment, and just be a subscriber. If you're not, join us. Hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 1.5K.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out you guys growing like crazy. But yeah, get it on the action. Ryan, Mortal Lock, first leg of the parlay.
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple scuffs in our Mortal Parlay. You
Little
know, a
scoofles.
couple picks that we all liked. You know, we had to switch it around. But don't worry, this was my second favorite pick of the week. I was
Hey.
obsessed with this week.
Hey.
I'm going with a brother on the pod. Me and this brother are now going to be rooting for the same team.
Oh.
LSU minus 7.5 versus Vanderbilt. Let me tell you something right now. This is such a spot. This number's so small. Vanderbilt just got embarrassed by South Carolina. LSU is playing. Everyone on the team's playing for draft picks. Everyone. They're all going to get drafted. The offensive line, some defensive players, Garrett Nussmeier, Lacey, all them motherfuckers are getting. Damn it. All those motherfreakers are getting drafted. Trust me. Sorry, I'm trying to not cuss as much on the show. You know, keep it legit.
I want you to cuss more.
No.
PC.
Legit.
No, we keep it
PC.
PC.
PC Mike.
Mike wants to do a lot.
I know,
wants
Mike
to do a
loves
lot.
doing a lot.
principal.
But yes, love LSU. Think this is a spot. Vanderbilt's kind of a shaky team. They haven't looked as good lately. LSU's going to murder them billion at home Death Valley night game. One of the last ones of the year for Garrett. Love it. Bang.
Yeah. This leg is easy. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was my mortal. It jumped out to me. It spoke to
No,
me.
you just know.
You know, I was on a streak where I was only winning on games I picked Navy and everything else that didn't work. But last week, Arizona State plus 8.5. they started up 21-0. They ended up winning the game outright by 14. So, massive difference between my spread and the final score. This is going to be another one like this. Colorado is going to destroy Kansas. Colorado, -2.5. Shador. At Kansas. There you go.
Can't say it this week then. All right. Revoke what I said about Colorado. Scobuffs.
Let's go stay on the cliff.
Scobuffs. That's it. Just Scobuffs. Now this pick is a team that I know relatively well. They are in my conference, and they have a disgusting color for their team. But it is Bama -13.5 going against Oklahoma because
yeah.
not only because OU sucks
And you hate them.
and because I hate them, but because their points of fault and their weakness is where Alabama shines. Oklahoma ranks in the bottom half of the nation for almost every single passing statistic. The only thing that they rank in the top 40 is opponent passing play percentage, which means that they just haven't gone against teams that throw the ball a lot. But, Bama has an unbelievable quarterback in Jalen Milroe. They also won't be able to contain him, so he'll be able to run all over their throats. And Alabama might win by 45. So,
There it is.
Bama.
I love it. Murder.
All right, last leg of the parlay.
Yeah, I had mentioned this earlier when we talked about Ohio State, Indiana. Listen, Ohio State, great players. Will Howard, fantastic. Quinshon Junkins, amazing. Jeremiah Smith, fantastic. Emeka, amazing. Amazing defense. That's why we're going to Ohio State.
Wow.
Easy. Murder.
4 picks.
I
Those
love
4
this.
hit. We pay
Minus
someone
30.
who comments. Let us know if you want to win in the comments. Mario, before the viewers go ahead and watch something else.
Show that
Enjoy
shirt,
the
baby.
weekend.
Show these shirts. Show
Tell
these
them what they got.
mortals.
No, we're
Go
taking
ahead.
down Vanderbilt this week. And Ohio State's taking down Indiana. Clemson's taking down the Citadel. You guys are losing
Yeah,
to
they're
Kentucky.
gonna lose to
Yeah,
Kentucky.
sorry
They're
about
gonna lose to
that. But listen, Mike mentioned earlier, listen, U.S. Generals, pay attention. This guy, you don't want to mess with him.
No fly zone.
So leave a comment
No
for
school
Mike.
zone.
No fly zone, no school zone. Leave a comment. Fade Mike, pro Mike. We're split right now in the comments.
Pro-military.
Pro-military, anti-military. He's
I'm
not
pro-military.
Mike's about to
He's
defund the
anti-armed.
military
I'm
by
trying to-
It depends on what country's military.
I'm trying to give a warning to the U.S. government.
from outside the U.S. though.
No, I'm in the
Speaking
US
of
right
warnings, like, comment, subscribe, turn that notification bell on,
now.
and we'll see you next week.
Go, guys!
Go Tigers, baby.
That's what we'll do!